Hi everybody, it's Ruth here, Artful Stampin'. Welcome to another One Sheet Wonder on a Wednesday. And I don't know if you've noticed, but I've started renaming some of my One Sheet Wonder Wednesday videos just One Sheet Wonders, because I've started to realise you might not watch it on a Wednesday, and although it was kind of a catchy title calling them a One Sheet Wonder Wednesday, I think they're probably a broader appeal, so I'm calling them One Sheet Wonders. So it's a little bit late here in the UK. I've had quite a busy day and not had a chance to film one and put one up, so I thought I'd just come on here and do it live. This was inspired by someone who commented on my last 12 by 12 page and said, oh, I wonder how we could get this sort of effect on dark cardstock. And I put a message saying, watch this space, because I'm going to come back and try and show you how to do that. So I'm hoping it's going to kind of work. So what you need for this is a little bit more than just stamps and ink. You are going to need white embossing powder, sorry, and that are mainly block designs. Okay, so you've got this one here, there's kind of like a daisy one, this one here that's a leaf. So hi people who are coming on live, if you're watching this on the replay, hello as well too. Hi Rhonda. There's this lovely leaf here, and then this leaf and florals, and then a few here. So I'm just aware that I don't want to make this video too long, so I'm going to kind of try and keep a design perhaps just in the corners maybe, and not do too much, so that you get an idea of how to do the technique, and then you guys can kind of go away and run and play with it. So if you're watching this on the replay, also be aware that you can watch this on fast forward, so if you don't want to stay for too long, you can please just go ahead and forward the video or skip to various bits. Okay, so let us start with I'm just going to have a look at the size of these florals in here. We've got a fairly large-ish, when I say large-ish, it's not super duper large, but we've got these ones here, this one here. I'm going to just grab out some of these, put them to the side. Now I do have black card on black background here, so I know it may not be very clear to see, but I'm hoping that once I get going it'll be fine. Is there anything else I want out of here? No, I think that's it. Okay. I haven't got a great plan for this. It's just going to kind of figure itself out as I go along. All right. So I've already used my embossing buddy to go over the cardstock, so that actually I might also, I've never thought of doing this before, but this makes sense, just to get the embossing buddy and massage it a little bit, so that any oils, and it's been a hot day here in the UK today, so any oils that you might, wet hands that just get some powder onto there, because you're going to be holding, perhaps holding onto the paper, so you don't want any oils to transfer onto the cardstock. So right, hi Wendy, hi Rhonda, hi Minnie, hi Cricket Harper, hello, welcome guys who are watching live, really nice to see you. Right, let's get going. All right, so I've got my Versamark embossing ink here, or clear ink, and I'm just going to stamp away. Now it is a little bit tricky because can't necessarily see properly what you're doing, although I've put some extra lighting here, so you may be able to see what's going on a bit better. I'm kind of going for a kind of corner design here. Right, there we go, and then have the odd other flower filling in. And you are going to have to remember to ink every time. It's not like when I'm doing other stamping where I do Stampin' Off and all that kind of thing. This is going to be heat embossed, so you have to re-ink every time. Okay, so now I'm going to go in. I'm kind of basically gradually getting smaller and smaller in the flowers that I'm using, and then grouping some and kind of juxtaposing small ones against larger ones and clustering sometimes. Okay. Do have this one here. Actually, I'm not going to go for that one. I think that's going to be tricky. I think I'm going to leave it there for the flowers and bring in this leaf from, this is Daisy Delight. So you don't have to use the stamps that I've got here, just think about what is in your collection that is fairly solid. Now I'm just aware that under this heat, this ink is drying quite quickly, so I am trying to work quite fast, but I think after this leaf, I'm actually going to pour some embossing powder over this and get it heated up. So I've got my white embossing powder here, and I'm going to just start pouring this on. Sorry, this is not a very interesting bit for you to watch. You can even see already where I've got my finger marks there. Wow, it's incredible, that Versamark. I mean, it's quite hot here and I've got a hot light and it still manages to be okay. Okay, I'm just going to take this off camera, and what I'm going to do is turn this upside down and just flick onto that there, just to get rid of some of the excess. Oops, wrong way around. Okay, so that just helps to show me where I've already gone. And I'm just now going to try and stamp and... Oh, I think I might just need a brush. Ooh, have I got a little teeny brush? Just brushing off some of these little bits. Right. Okay, so there I kind of went in a bit too close there, didn't I? But now this is a very different kind of feel to when I do colourful stamping, because with a colourful stamping I tend to do lots of overlap, so it's really interesting trying to create here without overlapping. So I may have to rely on some of the smaller stamps to fill in some of the gaps. So I've got this one here that's got the, it's kind of like a cherry blossom effect. So I'm going to have to be very careful where I place this, because I do not want to go over what I've done already. Oh, sorry, just dropping stamps. Okay, I think I'll fit another one down here. Try and fit one into there. To there. Just picked up a little bit of that powder there, but that one going off like that. Okay, I'm going to put some white powder on now, the embossing powder, just to see how that looks. You're quiet. You're stunned. What's she doing? Oh, hi Randy. Hi Wendy. Hi Janice. Esther was about to go to bed. Oh. No, stick with me. This is going to be a good one. Okay, I've just got these little spots that I'm noticing that need a little bit more. Okay. Oh, I'm making such a mess here. It is going to be worth it. Okay, I'm just flicking the back of it, and I'm sorry I'm having to do this off camera. I just need the space. It's a wee bit tricky when you've got a limited amount of space because of I'm having to put my camera up here. So right, I just need the lid for this so that I don't spill it everywhere. Put that lid on there. Put those over there. Oh, where's my lid gone? Oh, there it is. Okay, got that. Okay, so that's it for the stamping and the pouring of embossing powder. So I just need to heat my heat tool up a little bit and just make sure that I haven't got any strays. I've got the odd little bit of powder stray, but on the whole I'm quite pleased with that. Apart from the fact I've got it everywhere on my desk, but never mind. Okay, so I'm just going to hold this up so that, give it another tap. And start. So this bit, I'm sorry, this is going to just have to happen. So if you want to fast forward this, if you're watching this replay. Hi Dogs Go Wild. So I'm creating a 12 by 12 decorative piece so that if you wanted to do scrapbooking with it, you can do. My name's Ruth. I'm a Stampin' Up demonstrator, so I'm demonstrating with products that I actually sell, and if you're interested in purchasing any of these, you can go to my website artfulstampin.co.uk, and I also have a blog, so if you want to see other videos and photos and links and things, please head over there. So what I'm doing now is I'm heating the powder, and you can probably see it's starting to change. Hi Anne-Marie. I don't know if it's coming through on the camera, but as the as the embossing powder heats up, it melts basically. I don't know what is in it, but it's like magic. It's fab stuff. It's probably really bad for the environment or something, isn't it? It's like for plastic. Okay, don't quote me on that one. But as crafters, we love it. It's so cool. And you can get embossing powder in white, black, copper, silver, gold. We've also just come out with a black shimmer one, but I'm not sure it's available in Europe just yet. We're still having some issues with our labelling, so there's some products that haven't made it through to our warehouse yet. Okay, I think I've got all of those. Okay, that's all done. Oh, that last little bit. So it's worth letting it cool down just for a moment, and it doesn't take too long. And then, oh look, I can already see there's a little spot here that I didn't quite finish. And just giving it a good look over and checking that everything has melted properly. Because if you were to touch that and it hadn't melted, then it would just rub away. So do take your time and just check. Right, so this is where the magic happens. So I've got here my Stampin' blends, and these are alcohol pens. I've never tried it with the normal marker pens, so I'm not sure if it would work. But certainly I've done it with the alcohol pens, and it is fantastic. So let's have a think. What sort of colours shall we go for? while you're thinking, I'm just going to do this extra bit here because I can see it's not done. Okay, so what kind of colour should we go for these central? You know what, as my last design was very kind of pinks and yellows and greens, I wonder, shall we go for blues? Should we see what it looks like? I'm going to get my turquoises out, and I've got new balmy seaside spray and pool party. We'll get those colours out. Maybe even a little bit of night of navy. Oh, and maybe some of the lilacs. That would be quite fun. Okay. You're thinking blues. Oh, you just got your heat tool embossing colour. Excellent. Okay. So let's go for something quite bright but a really good colour. We're going to go for the dark bay here. So basically all you do is you colour in the white areas. Just make sure that's in focus. Is that in focus? So I'm just going to go over the central portions there. Then this is the, I think this is the light Bermuda Bay, yes. Oh, that tip's gone a bit funny. So colour in the black because it will show up very slightly if you do colour in the black portion. So ideally try not to. I'm trying to do this quickly as well, so this is a little bit tricky. And just like on paper, it will blend. It's slightly different because it's a shiny surface, so it just behaves slightly differently. And I don't think you can do the same amount of building up of colour as perhaps you would do on paper. But you can do that bit of blending. Can you see that is kind of blending? Yes, black. Yes, it is a black. I was trying to think what it was called. Janice, thank you for that. It's called the black magic technique. So if anyone wants to have a go or have a look at other videos using this technique, if you just put that, Google that, you'll be able to find that. Okay, so here where I've actually stamped quite close to another flower, you can then choose now which one do you want above the other one. So it's the summer holidays here in the UK. It's the first week for us during summer holidays, and we're going away next week, and I've been busy trying to sort out all our camping gear and all that kind of thing. So I'm afraid I have not been in my craft room as much. Although I'm doing a blog post tomorrow for the Christmas challenge, or the Christmas Stampathon rather, and it's another challenge tomorrow because it's the 25th of the month. So I have designed my card. I just need to film it and get it all uploaded. Okay, let's move on. I might not finish colouring this all in, but we're going to give it a go. Okay, so I'm thinking these lighter ones. Let's have a think what we've got here. Dark pool party. No, I don't want that one. Someone's changed the lids. That's not quite right. So we've got soft sea foam. And then we've got balmy blue. Light seaside spray. Ooh, let's try that one. Oh, that is very light. That's barely showing up. Let's not choose that one. Okay, let's move on. What about this one? This one is dark Highland Heather. And this one is light Blackberry Bliss. What have I got here? Rich Razzleberry. Rich Razzleberry. Oh, let's see if I've got some other ones in here. Pink Pirouette. Oh, that's retired. Light Highland Heather. There we go. What's that? Dark Blackberry Bliss. Okay, so Blackberry Bliss I'll put with that one. There we go. Right, sorry, I'm missing comments. Do the blends pick up the embossing? Pick up embossing even when fully melted. Can you explain what you mean by that? What do you mean, do they pick up? I mean, they're working on the white embossing. So the white embossing is like now the shiny surface. It almost feels like the glossy paper that Stampin' Up used to sell. So they do work slightly differently than if they were on paper, but for this technique it's working very well to get that kind of saturated colour. Although I would say it's maybe a little bit lighter than if you were doing it on paper. Although, look, I'm going over and over, and look, it's building, it is building up colour. Oh, I was wrong. I thought it didn't do that. Okay, it is building up colour. Now, these Stampin' Blends are really good value for money. They're not designed to last forever and ever. They are what's called a consumable. And if you can find, there are places that you can recycle plastic pen things. I'm getting into my recycling and trying to find out where you can recycle things like this. My son's school has started there's a scheme where you can take your biros and things for recycling, and apparently there are schools that are doing that now. They're like a pick-up point for, sorry, that I don't want to get in the light so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, I'm trying to colour as fast as I can. See, this is the beauty of editing, you see. Usually I would film this and I do it at double speed. So if you want to see this faster, just turn the sound off so I don't sound like a mouse, and put it on fast forward. Okay, we want some dark centres now, so I think I might go for the light Blackberry Bliss. And oh, actually, now the beauty of this is that you don't have to colour the whole thing in. You can actually put some texture. So look, I'm just dotting into the centre there. You see? You know, if you're a bit cautious and you're not quite sure what you're doing, just kind of dot in a circle and then fill it in, basically. So I'm just going to do that, dot in a circle, fill it in, dot in a circle, fill it in. And if you want to do more blending, I mean, I'm not going to do lots now, but you know, if you wanted to go up the sides and do more, you can do that. You can make this as detailed as you want. I mean, for the sake of this video, I'm not going to do that a lot, but look, see how lovely that is. Oops, sorry, that was off camera. Look. So look, dots. Look how cool that is. Boom. Right, I'll bring the camera back out. Sorry, I've forgotten that. There we go. As in you end up with some of the embossing powder back. No, you don't, because I've heated it. Is that what you meant? No, because this is all melted now. So this is all, it's become a solid. So when it cools down, it turns back into a solid. So it's completely dry, as it were. Okay. Oh, you know what? I'm just going to grab the yellow and just see if I can do these centres yellow. How fun is that? Oh, so nice. So it's a little bit of extra pop of colour by doing these yellows. Oh, I missed that one. I need to colour that one back in. Let me put my lid back on. Yeah, do remember to put your lids back on because they're alcohol based, they do dry out. Okay, so that's those ones. What have I got here? That's Call Me Clover. So this is the leaf for the leaves. I've got soft seafoam here, so I think I might just do the leaves. It's a very pale colour. I'm going to do it the base colour of that. And it's not very noticeable at all. But I'm just going to see what happens when I go over and call me Clover. And that you can then put in lines if you want to. Because we're using a solid stamp, it's up to you what design you want to do. Oh, lovely. So we do have other greens. We've got old olive, which is obviously a bit more of an olive green. Okay, what else? Have I got Flirty Flamingo? Let me see what other. Yes, I've got Flirty Flamingo here. Real red. Let's see what these look like. Oh, that's quite nice. That shows up really nicely. So this is Flirty Flamingo. And this Flirty Lily. Now this is going to make quite a dramatic 12 by 12 layout. So the beauty of this though is that you can create your own papers to match your photographs. Now, I haven't actually decided what photograph I'm going to put with this. But you don't have to do the design like I've done it. You may, decide where you're going to put your photographs on. You may think of the layout first and then do the flowers around it. This design I've done here is really just to show you a technique. It's not, I've not done this with anything particular in mind. So you can see how effective it is, and you don't have to do florals. You can do all sorts of things. Right, so that's the pinks. So I've got dark real red here. I'm just going to add a little bit to the centre, and look, I'm just following the line of that lily up like that and create an extra bit of dimension. I'm being very quick with this. I'm not really being as careful as I should really. Okay, I don't think I'm going to do any more to that one. Right, and then we have these little things here. So, let's have a think. What could we use? Light Blackberry Bliss. Let's see what that's like. Okay, I'm just doing the petals. I'm not doing the inside because I think it might be quite fun to put a different colour on the inside there. The only thing I would say in terms of colours or how you'll cut the technique of colouring in, if you've chosen one colour for one flower, you should do all the flowers like that, okay? That's how it stops becoming a complete kind of hot mess, as it were. Just once you've decided what colours you're doing, just make sure you apply that same rule for all of them. Oh, sorry about the noisy background. My kids are watching TV. It's very loud. Okay. I might just get a bit of that yellow back in here. Right. I think I'm going to kind of stop there, unless you guys have any questions. Right. Oh, okay, sorry. So Cricket Harpet says, I had heard somewhere that the alcohol ink reacted with the melted powder and repelled it somewhat. I haven't tried it, so I was curious. Or remelted the powder. I don't think that would necessarily happen, because the powder works by being heated. It's heat reactionary. It's not alcohol reactionary. you know, it's just like if I was, I don't know, like it's like hot glue, you know, it works by heat, not so no, I don't quite understand that. I'd be interested to know why that person thought that way. Can you see that, guys? Can you see the detail of that now? Sorry, let's just ask for it to be. So at this point, you know, you may think, oh, I just need a few more extra designs in here. So you're quite, you know, you design it however you want to design it, but if you wanted to, you could maybe cut out flowers, you could punch out flowers and just stick some extra on so that you get that really nice sort of more of a fuller effect, because I think that's possibly what's lacking with this. That's a bit different from just a general stamped image, because I was being careful not to kind of go over and over the same areas. You haven't got that depth of design that you would normally get in stamping. So I mean, the other option is to just to stamp more and maybe colour in lighter leaves so it looks like they're going into the background. So I would say this almost looks more like it's been embroidered, as opposed to trying to create a realistic impression of a floral arrangement. It's just a completely different look. I mean, it's pretty, but it is different. Oh, that one. So I haven't coloured everything in, but I probably am going to stop here now, unless you guys have got more questions. So you can, oh, sorry, camera's crazy. Oh, there we go, sorry. Okay, so there we have it. So this is how you can create an effect on dark cardstock. And of course, if you wanted to cut this up and use it in your card making, that's fine. But I thought it would be nice just to carry on the theme of doing a 12 by 12 page and using this for maybe some scrapbooking. So there we have it. Thank you for joining me for this week's One Sheet Wonder. I hope it's inspired you to get out your embossing powder. I guess you could try using a metallic. It'll be interesting to see how the alcohol pens react on top of silver or gold. That's, you know, maybe a project for another day. But it's super fun to get that kind of effect, because when you first look at it, you're like, how on earth did you get that? You know, how did you make that? Because we're so used to stamping colour onto light card that it's just really interesting to then do it the opposite of having coloured images onto a dark piece of card. And of course, you don't have to use black. You can use dark brown. You can use, you know, early espresso, night of navy, Merry Merlot. We've got some, oh, even mossy meadow. We've got some beautiful colours in the Stampin' Up collection. So, you know, any of those would be great. So there we have it. Thank you for joining me, guys. Take care for now and have a great rest of the week, and see you again soon.